G'day everyone, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. Now in this one, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make Stylist samples for artists such as Destroyed Lonely or Dom Corleo inside of FL Studio. If you are new here, I would greatly appreciate it if you do punch that subscribe button. And while you're at it, you might as well click that taco bell so you get notified every single time that I upload a video. If you do want to follow my socials, I'll be leaving them here on screen. But with that one being said, let's get into FL Studio and let's deconstruct this sample. Okay, so here we are inside of FL Studio, and as you can see with this sample, would you be surprised if I said we kept this one really simple? 4 melodic layers, 1 bass. Now we are working at a BPM of 160 in the key of B minor, and the first preset that we do use comes in from Serum, and that one is the chord Fine, which comes in from the Pluto Serum Bank by JnB&x. Now, all we're doing with this one is a really simple chord progression. We may be working in the key of B minor, but I decided to actually work with other keys in the scale. So the first chord that we do have is actually this D major, where we have this D, this F sharp, and this A. To give it a little bit of variance, we actually made it a 7th chord where we add in the 7th. In this case is the C sharp. Then we grabbed the root note, which is the D, bump that one down an octave. The next chord that comes in is actually this B minor, where we have this B, this D, and this F sharp. Yet again, turning it into a 7th by adding in this A. We grab the B, bump that one down an octave, just to give it a lower root note. The next chord that comes in is something a little bit weird, because we do actually have this F sharp minor, which is this F sharp, this A, and this C sharp, but then we add this E down the bottom here before we actually grab this F sharp and bump that one down an octave. The root note of that chord is actually F sharp, even though we do have this E at the bottom. Now to change it up at the very end, we do actually have an A major triad. Now, what I mean by that one is if I grab this A and bump that one down an octave, as you can see, this A, this C sharp, and this E makes an A major. Yet again, we just grab that A, bump that one up an octave, but we just extended this F sharp all the way along just to give it a little bit of a sustained root note. But in context, this is what the foundation sounds like. Just keeping it really simple, really lush, and most importantly for Destroyed Lonely samples, keeping it really melancholic. Going on to the effects with this foundation with the chords, all we have is an EQ where we get rid of some of the high end because it was pretty distorted in the high end and I just wanted to tame that a little bit, and we get rid of the low end, leaving room for a bass. Going on to the next element of this sample, surprise, surprise, comes in from Serum yet again. And the preset with this one is the lead squeeze, which comes in from the Pluto Serum Bank by JnB&x yet again. Now, the pattern that we are playing with this is something really simple. All we did is we went over to the Supertrap free version by Prod by Jack. Now, if you do want a link to that one, I'll be leaving a link to his store and his YouTube channel in the description. Go over there, show the guy some love. Now, all we did is we went over to MIDI, we went over to main, and it is actually this Days MIDI file in the key of B minor. So if I was to drag that one in, as you can see, it is the exact same MIDI file. All we did is we got rid of the chords. We just kept the top melody. And in context, it sounds like so. Going on to the effects with this lead, we honestly kept it really simple. We start off with a portal, which gets automated throughout the whole sample. But with this one, we are using the Sparks preset, which comes in from the Enviral Enigma kit. Now, if you do want a link to that one, just like last week's video and countless others, I'll be leaving a link to Enviral's YouTube and his store in the description below. The last effect that we use is an EQ, yet again, just shaping it a little bit, getting rid of a lot of the low end, just getting rid of that muddiness. We did not want that whatsoever. Going on to the next element with this sample, it comes in from Serum yet again, and the preset with this one is the Pluck Donut, which comes in from the Pluto Bank yet again. And the pattern that we are playing with this one is honestly something really, really simple. We just have a really simple ARP playing throughout the whole track. As you can see, we go C sharp, down to A, to F sharp, up to A, copy and paste that one over again and again and again and again, and we end up with a pattern that sounds like so. Keeping it just really simple, because when it comes to making these opium samples, it's all about sound selection. And, you know, you do have a lot of layers, but they're just really simplistic layers. Going on to the effects with this, we start off with a portal, which is the acceleration preset, which comes in from the Enigma bank by Enviral yet again. The next effect that comes in is an RVox stereo, which we are just compressing the sound a decent amount, -6, just to make sure it's even across the board. Last but not least, we do have an EQ come in where we get rid of some of the high end and a lot of the low end. We're practically filtering this one to be more in the background. I want you to hear it, but I don't want it to be at the forefront taking most of the room. Going on to the next element, surprise, surprise, comes in from Serum yet again. And the preset that we are using with this one is the Lead Squeeze by JnB&x yet again. And the pattern that we are playing with this one is something really simple. We grabbed the chords or the foundation and we just found notes that were in the chords that we were using that sounded nice to the ear. And we ended up with a pattern that sounds like so. You've possibly noticed something at the very end, you know, just that subtle change to make the whole sample interesting and not really stale, because it's the exact same thing playing over and over again. That little change is, instead of doing down runs at the end, for the next part, we are actually playing the exact same notes, but we're running up. Going on to the effects with this lead, we honestly kept it really simple. All we have is an EQ where we get rid of a lot of the high end and we boost the low end, giving it a little bit of that filter effect. Going on to the bass with this melody, the preset that we are using with that one is the Bass Can't See, which comes in from the JnB&x Pluto Serum bank yet again. And the pattern that we are playing with that one is something really simple. We are just following the root notes, where we go G to E to B. That's mainly due to the fact that I do actually pitch the final sample down 7 semitones, putting it onto the key of B minor. So that means that the root notes are going to change. But in context, this is what the bass sounds like. Going on to the effects with this bass, we start off with the exact same EQ as the lead, where we get rid of a lot of the high end and we just boost the low end. But then the next thing to come in is an SSL compressor, where we just tame the sound so it actually sounds even across the board yet again. Now, all the melodic layers get routed over to insert 4, which, like I said, we have a sound shifter pitching it down 7 semitones, putting it into the key of B minor. An EQ comes in, just getting rid of the low end, just making sure that there is room for that bass. And an SSL compressor just being used as a glue compressor, making everything sound even. But yeah, that is how you can make a Stylist sample for artists such as Destroy Lonely or Dom Corleo inside of FL Studio. If you are new here, yet again, I would greatly appreciate it if you do punch that subscribe button for me. And while you're at it, you may as well flick that bell so you get notified every single time that I upload a video. If you do want to follow my socials yet again, they'll be right here on screen. But with that one being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time for another video.